episode 60. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
60. Yeah. I had a brain fart right there for a minute. Too much weed. I welcome to schedule for One Fall. I am Patrick alongside Val and Shaggy. And it's been a long week of wrestling, some new changes supposedly and stuff like that. But before we get into all that bullshit that WWE is doing, let's talk about some, I don't know if it's bullshit or not, but let's talk about AEW Fight for the Fallen. Shaggy, you were there. You were there live in the flesh.
Mm-hmm.
You said it was a lot of black people there.
And it was hot as fuck. That's probably why it was hot.
Yeah.
Real talk. Not even in front.
That's crazy.
That's
crazy.
When I was in line, obviously there's the typical wrestling fan. Yeah. No,
right.
Not really neckbeards, because I guess it was too hot for them.
Well, you can't be in that kind of heat with a neckbeard. Come on.
Nah, man. I mean, everybody it was pretty decent, man. It was nice and like diverse, but I did see like a gang, like shouts out to Duval showing up, man, for that event. And I'm gonna tell you this right now. Tony Khan may have something on his head, because he said he's always wanted to do a wrestling event from Daly's Place, which is an amphitheater. So it's when you think Daly's Place, when I heard it was announced going to be at the place called Daly's Place, I'm like, I was at a Deftones concert here. I can't see a wrestling. I don't know how they're going to put wrestling in his venue, but by damn, they did it, man. And it was a really cool venue for it. I had like decent fucking seats. Really good, actually really good seats. We were right behind floor seats next to the ring. They did the old school WCW ramp. Connected from the front all the way over to the ring, and there as many people just got thrown into that shit. I had to remind myself that ramp existed when people were getting thrown over the ropes, over the top rope and then landing on it. I was like, where the fuck did that come? Oh, okay. But it was hot as a bitch. I will say that. Also, I guess everyone is saying, oh, it was that. I will say the show was good, but it was also, people were dealing with heat. I mean, the wrestlers are wrestling in that humidity, and it shows. No one was used to that shit. But I guess my biggest complaint was, I didn't tell y'all this because I was going to wait for the show, but I was in the, not concessions, but I went in the line to go buy merch. And this was at the start of the show. This is before the pre-show. I was in line from the entire pre-show, and by the time the show was getting ready to start, I legitimately, they ran out of the merch that I wanted.
They do that a lot, though. I got to be honest. I shouldn't say they do that a lot. I've been to a Ring of Honor and other, they try to keep a buzz going about the merch so people want it more, is the only thing I can think of. Because when I was at Supercard of Honor in Orlando, where Young Bucks took on the Hardys in a ladder match before the Hardys returned to WrestleMania the next day, they ran out of merch immediately, and they shut down merch tables even before I felt like about halfway through the show is when I was like, oh, I better go get merch. And they were already breaking it down. I don't know if that's because they keep a buzz going or what, because there's no reason, especially since, good old Pro Wrestling Tees definitely has a lot of the AEW merch for sale. There's zero reason for there not to be enough merch. So I think it's personally, they just are trying to keep people chomping at the bit for it. I could be totally wrong. That is in no way, shape, or form anything I've heard from anybody or anyone. It's just something that I have noticed from the shows that I've gone to and the years that I worked in punk rock with different bands and keeping stuff exclusive, and it creates more buzz and more demand. Maybe that's what they're doing, or maybe I'm just overthinking it.
See, no, I would kind of go with you on that, but here's the funny thing: the two shirts that I wanted was Joey Janela's new shirt, because I definitely did not want a fucking another black shirt. I was like, yo, that was actually navy blue, and I was like, okay, I'm down with this one. I like the design on it. I want to add an extra large. The extra large is sold out. They only had it in small and large, and I was like, yeah, I'm not. These shirts will shrink. I'm good. The other one was the SCU worst town I've ever been in, but imprinted in Jaguars colors.
Oh yes, yeah, that was
which was
a nice
that
shirt.
it's a dope shirt. That was one of the first shirts when they did the rally that they just dropped that day. And I told myself, I'm gonna have that shirt only because that's my city and that's my city's colors and everything else. So they sold out of that one. And I was like, well, I kind of figured the Duval shirt was gonna I kind of figured that shirt was gonna sell out because come on, Jacksonville Jaguars, cool, yeah. And then but the Joe Janela shirt, I was surprised. I was like, damn, dude, really? And I couldn't get anything else. And then, but what they did was they swapped out when one person's merch ran out, they put up another person's merch like that day, like literally, like just to kind of swap, almost kind of like what the WWE not the Super Show, but the big WWE shop that they
The
had,
Superstore.
the Superstore. Thank you, the Superstore that they do in Mania. When one shirt sells out, they put another shirt above it, and it's like brand new, like you've never seen it. They didn't have any newer merch appear, but they just had other wrestlers' merch pop up when one shirt started to leave. So I guess that's my biggest gripe because I was like, well, y'all running at $30 a pop. I know for a fact these shirts are going to be like $24. Like if I go along and I wait for it, and if I get on sale, I can get a sale on these shirts. I'm not gonna like feel like fret out or anything else like that. But I was kind of salty, but I mean not super salty. I was too hot to be salty. So
You were sweating too much to be salty. You were losing all your salt.
Yeah.
Holy shit. So let me tell you guys something. You guys experience heat. And Val, you come into Florida knowing how Florida heat can be. The humidity here. So people were saying that was like the show wasn't as good, but it was better than Fyter Fest. But people were saying that like way better than Fyter Fest. But here's the thing with that. Fyter Fest was also indoors, and Fight for the Fallen was outdoors. When I tell you that the humidity, when you would think when it gets darker, it gets cooler. No, it
gets worse. What? It gets thicker.
Bruh,
I feel like it gets thicker.
Bruh, it was hot, bruh. We were like the entire time that the show started at like 7:30 pre-show wise and just kept going. We didn't get out of there till like 11:30. Bruh, the crowd itself, you can feel the crowd die like after the Lucha Brothers versus SCU match. And it's not because we were bored. We were fucking tired. Like we were tired. We were like, no one was suffering no heat stroke because it wasn't like that bad, but it was like sitting in that shit for about 4 hours. And you're sitting here drinking the air. That's how thick the humidity is. And we're just bro, it's crazy, bro. I mean, but people stayed. No one really left up until like maybe the last half of the main event.
No one really Bucks,
yeah, but no one really left, and they didn't really leave for that one. But it was kind of like people were kind of leaving because it was like late, and it was like people were tired, so it was like no one was leaving because the event stunk. It was just like it's hot as fuck, dude. Because even like I even text my homie. He was saying like, oh, so and so's better than this, and it's all right. I'm like, and he texted me. I was like, bruh. When I text him, he's like, bro, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to talk bad about it. It's like, but what's going on? I'm like, no, I'm just saying it's hot as fuck, and I want to go home.
Yeah, it did come off on TV like motherfuckers was bored or whatever.
I thought people just looked like deflated. Like they just seem like, I mean, I don't know, maybe because like you said, Shaggy, I've been to
that show. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long ass show, and also it's like so hot. I mean, I'm down in Florida quite a bit, and I don't know if you know how humid it gets in Chicago, but sometimes it gets just about as intense as it does in Florida. And yesterday, oh yeah, dude, this week has been really, really brutal. I mean, yesterday I pulled I think 16 and a half hours between the two jobs. And most of that was during the day in the sun in Chicago, where it was just about 100 degrees, just the base temp. And it was like 80% humidity, something ridiculous.
Yeah.
We stay in the high 90s and be in the upper hundreds with humidity. It just cranks. It's bad.
When I was there for the Villains Disney party BS that I did on the 4th of July, the 3rd of July was 107 degrees with 90% humidity when I was in Florida. And I was like, please just push me off the Space Mountain right now. I'm in the dark and I'm hating life.
Fam,
I know you can't wait on that Jericho cruise.
Fam, Fam, I live that, man. It's something. I've been here 30 years of my entire life, and I shit you not, I'm still not used to it. But if I go into a dry heat, I'm like champion. I'm good. I'm like, okay, I can deal with this, but nah, man. But yeah, no. If the way the crowd was reacting, no one was bored. People were actually enjoying the show. But once we kind of got to the Lucha Brothers SCU match, of course, the Lucha Brothers, and this is what people. The cool thing about this event was not only did you have people who did not know who these. You had normal fans like myself,
yeah,
but you also had people in attendance who had no idea who these people were. And that's like, especially Lucha Brothers, Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy.
I love Luchasaurus
and Darby Allin. They got the biggest pops of the night.
Yeah,
they got the biggest pop. Like it warmed my heart to see Darby Allin. The crowd get right behind him, like 5,000 plus were cheering his name. And actually probably more than 5,000 plus, because I know like 5,000 holds the seats, but I want to say probably a little bit more than that. But people cheering Darby's name, they're freaking out for Luchasaurus, and like they are, they really, really, really like got into it. And then obviously the Lucha Brothers stole the show from their entrance all the way coming out to like doing the Zero Mero. That people were like loving that. It was,
excuse me, can I interrupt for a moment and be like, for real, bro? You said Zero Mero. It's Cero Miedo.
I know.
No. It's Cero Miedo, which means zero fear. Like,
yeah, I don't know what the hell
I'm tired, bro. All right,
it's cool. I got your back, but I'm just saying.
You gonna call me out? Fine, that's cool. Just call me out, bro. But like, let me at least.
Cero Miedo.
Damn.
Cero Miedo.
Not bad.
Cero.
Hold on, Pat. What are you apologizing for, dog? You ain't do nothing. You just
I'm laughing at your ass.
I'm just used to apologizing because I'm black, man.
My bad.
I'm Patrick. Now you have. Oh snap! Now you have to apologize because you're not just black. You're a black guy who likes wrestling.
That's like oh man.
And I'm not a racist for saying that. I'm just quoting the T-shirt that you want to make.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're not racist.
Okay, cool.
Did y'all have?
Patrick?
I mean, whoa, bro. Wait, hold on. Nah, you good. Did you guys have any questions for their like?
What was your I'm so sorry. What was your favorite match of the night? Would you say?
That would be the SCU. It would be Luchas and SCU, but Kenny and CIMA. I hadn't seen CIMA since 2007 for Battle for Los Angeles. If I'm going to kick it back that far, seeing him and Kenny in the ring wrestling for that while I was still kind of out of it, watching that match again and then watching it live and then watching it again. That actually, I'm going to say if I had to pick a tag match, because there was a lot of them on this show, I'm picking the SCU and Lucha Brothers singles match, Kenny versus CIMA. Like that match was better than I would have hoped, only because it was like you fully expected Kenny to do like 18 V-triggers when it was complete opposite. It was like CIMA doing like 17 Meteoras. And Kenny found a way out of it. That was the match of the night to me.
And then my other question for you. Now, obviously, I'm very much into the women's wrestling program, especially AEW. I really, really like their roster that they have for the women's program. But there was a lot of a backlash from that women's tag team match that was where Britt Baker went to go make the hot tag to not her tag team partner, but to the opposite team, because she had just been kicked in the head or kneed in the head by Bea Priestley. And it's come out since that she did sustain a concussion in that match. What was the vibe in the room at that point? Because to me, I feel like just watching that clip repeatedly, and Bea Priestley is a badass, fierce, boss ass bitch in the ring. Like, she is talented AF. And she's also a very, very nice human being. So I'm sure she felt immensely terrible. But concussions, injuries, things like that are going to happen. a lot of people were getting kind of heated about her and saying maybe she's not ready for this level yet. I don't personally believe that, but I think she is really ready for this level. But guess what? Humidity means you're going to slip and injuries are going to happen. You know, what was the vibe there?
So there was more backlash online than there was at the arena.
That's kind of what I figured, but I didn't know, because, you know, wrestling fans, we, you know, if we are some of the most passionate people on the planet, there's nothing like a good wrestling chant, you know?
Yeah, but if you notice, you go back at that match, there was no "you fucked up" chant. Period.
Right.
No, and so, it wasn't. Yeah.
There was.
Do you think that people in the venue were like legitimately more sympathetic because they're like, yeah, it's hot AF, injuries are going to happen. You know what I mean? Because that's how I look.
It was more so that because like there was nothing like shit, man. I didn't realize that she went to the wrong corner until like I saw video of it. I was like, oh shit. It was hot. It was still, the sun has not gone down, and there it was like smoke. It was still like midday hot, but it was hot as shit. Like, so, you know, you're wrestling, you're going on, you're doing your best, and it's just like you know, they're just trying to do everything, but no, in the arena itself, yeah, no one felt like that. No one, there was no booze, there was no like you fucked up or anything like disrespectful or anything. It was literally, it was, and it also helped that it was the pre-show match, but
right.
But at the same time, nah, fam, there was no like all the bitterness that I saw for that was online. I will say this, our girl, I forgot her name. Who was on the Fyter Fest card? Not the other
Kylie?
Not Kylie, the bigger monster they got.
Nyla?
Nyla.
My future ex-wife, yeah. Nyla Rose.
Yeah, Nyla Rose. Yeah, Nyla Rose. Fucking chimed in with a tweet saying that's what your dumb ass get, and I was like,
yeah.
I was like, okay, that's funny as hell. But
yeah, I thought it was appropriate, and people gave her shit for it. I'm like, dude, she's a heel. She's a monster heel. She's, you know, and I guarantee she's also like a good fucking human. Like, she definitely.
Like she probably didn't know the concussion thing, like when the tweet happened.
Or if she did, she probably has already reached out to Britt to make sure she's doing okay.
Nah, at
the end of the day, like they are not friends when it comes to their professions, but they're human beings that are compassionate and care for each other, and injuries are going to happen. And I'm sure, honestly, that's probably just like a little bit of an angle building. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was also speaking of Nyla Rose. I really wish it was her that came down to go up against to kind of square up against Kong, but it was Aja Kong.
Aja Kong.
It was Aja Kong that came out. Okay. So I'm with it because it's like kind of like the two people's like fucking Awesome Kong idolize Aja, so it was kind of like okay, I get it, but part of me really wanted to be Nyla Rose, but hey, I take what I. So I'm just saying, speaking of her, but yeah, no, there was no malice in the arena whatsoever. We just hot as fuck. That's it, man. It was just like, yo, like even if you were in the way that the arena is built, the closer you are to the ring or to the stage, the hotter it was. You can be higher up. They got fans all up in the arena, like coming in, and we were also afraid of the rain, but the way the arena is made, the rain was only going to affect on the sides, not anybody on the crowd. Like the worst case is if a breeze came in, you probably would have got like it's almost like fighting in like a stadium, like or raining in the stadium. It's not going to like rain out everything, but it was kind of like, okay, we have some stuff on top of that and it's fine. So I was like, okay, I was wondering what they were going to do if like the rain started to happen, started to come through. And I realized that now. I was like, okay, no, they kind of thought of stuff because this ain't their first rodeo. There's always concerts and stuff going out there. So it was a good I really wish, and Cody even said this in an interview, and I thought it myself. Everybody loved it, but they wish it was during a different time of the year. Like if it was like December, that would probably be perfect. This should be great. He said, he even said in the interviews, like, yo, let's do this again in December. That would be great. But he already knows that it's probably going to happen again next summer And even then, I'm gonna be like, fuck, man, I don't know if I want to go to this. Like, just knowing, but I don't know. Like, they're probably gonna, because what they're saying is Tony wants this to kind of be, it's like Bash at the Beach type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
The vibe and everything, and like with it being December, it would be harder to pull off because of the Jaguar schedule.
Oh,
and
yeah,
because,
right.
Yeah, mainly because of that, but also, I mean, that time of year is usually a dead zone for pay-per-views and things like that because of the holidays.
Yeah, for the holidays and stuff like that. Also, like I was saying, December, he's what he said, but I was like January too, because it's not super fucking cold until like February here. And that's
super fucking cold.
And I say Florida, and I was gonna say Florida cold for you fucking Midwest fucks. Give me shit. For Florida cold, all right. So, no, it's I was thinking like I would love for that to happen, but like he just said, it makes more sense because summertime they can kind of get away with stuff, and it just do more with cooling, and hopefully it's like a cooler night or something in the spring. Because right now, it's yeah, it's just how the arena is built, and because of how like I said, that amphitheater also doubles as a Jaguars training facility. So, like right as you come in, there's a tunnel that leads directly into the stadium. Like they're both connected. So, yeah.
Oh, so that would be dope. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like right in there. Now, I will say this. Even though Daly's Place is a thing, but I will say eventually, if the company gets big enough, they're gonna want to do their outdoor stuff too, and they have their perfect place to go. It's right in the Jacksonville Jaguar Stadium.
Right, so, exactly.
So it's right there, Frank Pickens. Like it's a larger seat, but they got to build their clientele up, because if like you want to get that following and have that, and then you can start doing bigger stuff, because now you literally own it, so you can just kind of walk in. But other than the heat, I enjoyed the show. I know people were ranking these and in terms of AEW shows that's been coming out. Yeah. This was probably third place to me. I think you posted something, Pat. I think I was the same thing, because I'm like, yeah, Fight for the Fall. Like,
I rated like all the stuff that happened that weekend, and I think I gave it like a 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah,
it wasn't good. Yeah.
Nah, it wasn't. I put an asterisk next to it because had it wouldn't have been like super fucking like hot for them. And kudos to every wrestler wrestling in a mask, because Jesus Christ.
No joke, dude.
Shit.
Like, because holy hell, like I had a hat on. I'm sitting here like, bruh, no. No, I would have given it a little better of a score if they weren't like, if I knew the wrestlers weren't getting fatigued halfway in. So kudos to that. But yeah, I would say it's probably their third best show outside of All In, Double or Nothing, and then Fight for the Fallen and Fyter Fest.
Fyter Fest. Oh man, yeah, Fyter Fest was no thank you. Let me see. Yeah, so I guess let's talk about some news shit, man, because there's a couple things that happened that I do want to talk about. So let me look at this. Is it on the doc?
Yeah, I put it on the doc. One of the things that I mentioned this week on our Wrestle News here is that do you guys remember the Funkadactyls?
Yeah.
Do y'all remember right? So I'm gonna tell you, Mama. Right. That's crazy. No. I'm just saying, because they came out as the hype girls, basically. What was it, Cameron? Right. What was her in-ring name?
Yeah, Karen.
And Naomi, before Naomi had the glow up. And Tyrus, right, was the dude that they came out with.
Brodus Clay, yeah. I think that, Brodus Clay, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Some weird stuff was happening this week. He, former wrestler with the WWE, getting real pervy and sending out some creepy creeps, if I'm not mistaken, at work.
That's disgusting. Just that's disgusting. Only because, all right, well, number one, it's disgusting, and number two, all right. Before I go further, the person that he did it to, personally, she's a piece of shit. but that still doesn't mean that
Right.
she should have fucking dick pics sent to her or whatever.
Well,
nobody wants that shit, man.
nobody
Yeah.
ever should, and
Right.
it's just so messed up. So basically, he sent a bunch of really gnarly things to his co-host Britt McHenry, and Fox Nation is gross and garbage, whatever. But even regardless of that, doesn't mean that any human, female or
Right.
male or whatever, deserves to have weird stuff. Like one of the ones that I read about was that he sent out, just pull your boobs out now, why don't you? Just grin and bear it. Like, I'm sorry, what? Keep being negative and I'll send you another dick pic? What?
Yeah, that's kind of wild. Well, no, it's not kind of wild. That is wild. Like that's.
And it's just gross and it's offensive on every level, and it's a bummer. It's a bummer. But so that was like one of the first things that I saw this week that I was just like, come on.
Yeah.
The other one, it depends on how you look at it. I don't think it's as bad, but it's still not good. I'm trying to get the gnarly shit out of the way, and then we'll have some positive, nerdy stuff to talk about in a minute. But unfortunately, Jeff Hardy got arrested again in Myrtle Beach.
Oh, man.
But, and this is so fucked that this is how my brain works. I was like, well, at least it wasn't a DUI. He got arrested for public intoxication. But he wasn't behind the wheel or anything. So nobody was injured, or, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like, it's still not good.
Yeah.
But at least it was not as bad as it has been in the past. So I don't know what's going on with him.
I heard
but
it something like passed out, like sleeping under some stairs or something. I don't know. Like I heard he was passed out somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's like, because we were in line and you just see like the mug. Actually, that happened to Fighter Fest. Yeah, that was last Saturday. We were in line and they were reporting it, and I was just like, I said, man, if it's just drunk, I was like, all right, we can just say my man's and say, fuck it, I'm going to Popeyes real quick.
Right.
Or my fault. Craig, he's from Carolina. Bojangles.
Bojangles.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm about to walk to Bojangles real quick. Be right back. My man could have passed out on the street because it happens. It happens. We be intoxicated. We be trying to like, all right, fuck it, man. But this is a dude who's had history of that shit, and it's kind of like it's depressing. Because you don't want it to happen. I'm like, come on, man. Like you're like, come on, bro, please get your shit together.
How sad is it? I mean, I guess I just feel really bad for him. I mean, I know he's struggling with some demons, but also just the physical pain of what he's done to his body over his career. I can imagine that's probably at least part of it as to why he gets so sauced out of his mind. But then how sad is it that he's been through this so many times that legit my first thought was at least he didn't get a DUI and was behind a wheel.
Yeah, that would have been horrible.
Yeah.
On all sides. So, yeah.
So now that I feel like that's the only really yucky stuff out of the way. Do you want me to share some like nerdy good news? Is that cool?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
Always.
All right. Yeah. So, well, one is it's neither here nor there, but I think it's a step in the right direction. Finn Balor has actually requested time off. He's going to be taking about 2 months off, and that could explain why he dropped the belt at Extreme Rules. But he has just said, "Hey, look, I need to just take some time off." And I know he has a new lady partner.
Yeah, good
so maybe he just wants to spend some time with his friend. You know, I don't know what it is, but I'm glad because I don't want to see him get burnt out and then be MIA. You know,
I thought he was getting married.
Yeah, I think he is. Or I don't know. That's what I heard. You know,
that's what I heard too. I thought he was getting married.
From like a neckbeard. Yeah, neckbeard told me. So you know, I gotta believe it. So
no. Well, can we have a soundbite for like that's neckbeard or something? Because like I do
have my neckbeard alert one, but it's not. I gotta redo it. I gotta redo it.
Well, but, so here's the thing, though, you guys. Is I was just going to say he's officially engaged to be married. So he's with Vero Rodriguez.
Yeah.
And so it seems as though they are engaged. So she's got an engagement ring. And I guess apparently Balor was a little intoxicated.
Oh yeah, she was.
Oh, yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that. I remember that interview. That was a fun interview.
Yeah. So, pretty cute. But yeah, so that's the happy, nerdy, good news. It's nothing bad. Everybody's like freaking out because Finn Balor's taking time off. Oh my God, he's going to AEW. It's like, no, chill out. He's enjoying life and he's being Fergal Devitt, and congratulations to him. I hope that he and Vero are, who knows when it actually will happen. But yeah, they're
I'm just
engaged.
happy. I'm just happy because this means that Bray Wyatt will probably win at SummerSlam if they do end up fighting. So I ain't got to worry about the demons showing up. So
Right,
good for you,
right.
Balor. Take as much time as you need off.
Absolutely. So somebody that's taken a long time off from wrestling, and there's been lots of speculations of what's going to happen with their career. There was just, I want to say it came out today, perhaps, a little teaser video for StarCast 3, like, cue the living color cult of personality, CM Punk has an appearance at StarCast 3.
You already know what I'm going to say about this. This is just going to pollute Chicago from all the neckbeards are going to flock from various places on
Use your
Earth.
words.
Yes, they're going to flock to Chicago and bring the mustard smell.
Oh, the mustard! Oh no!
Look, man.
Just not the ketchup.
Hey man, what did mustard do to you, bro? Hold on.
I love mustard. I love mustard. I don't care.
Mustard's cool. It's fine. It's straight. My thing is with this whole CM Punk thing. Look, I don't care if you're doing StarCast. We only want to see you if you're going to appear All Out. And I think if he doesn't appear All Out, AEW got some shit to figure out, because that's what's going to get them, I think, like really, really over. If fucking Phil Brooks decides to stop going to Stand Donuts and do karate and get back in the ring. So.
Yo, look, man, my man's just getting the Marvel bag. He's doing horror movies. Let my man live, all right? He's living his best life, all right? He doesn't want to wrestle. He doesn't want to do. Now, me personally, if he never comes back to a wrestling ring, I'll be cool with that. If he wanted to announce, however, I'd pay him stupid amounts of money to be a color commentator instead of I replace JR. Well, probably not. Yeah, I'd replace JR with Punk, and I'd have him and Excalibur. Excalibur be a play-by-play. Punk be your color guy, and then go from there. Because that's if I'm like building it. If I'm Tony Khan, I'm like I would want to pay Punk like stupid amounts of money. It's like, dude, just come be an announcer.
You would replace JR first? I
would.
Huh.
I mean, it's a toss up between him and Mark Alvarez.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, really? I feel like if you had JR, Punk, and Excalibur together, that would be some fucking lineage right there.
I'm more of a fan of 2 team booths.
Oh yeah, as am I.
So
the only thing I would like, I totally agree with you there. 2 team booths is like kind of where it's at. But I think if you had Excalibur and Punk and JR just more or less being like the host or moderator, quote unquote.
I was gonna give him the Michael Cole role. Kind of like work with them and they're kind of doing that, because somebody has to be the odd man out. And it's go ahead.
But even with that, so much, Michael Cole is still a very dominant voice on commentary. My thing here would be like JR, because of his history on the mic and over the years with so many promotions and as a producer, and he's touched so many aspects of what makes professional wrestling so damn great and so sports entertaining. I think it would be kind of great to have him be a host more or less and kind of like steer the conversation between the two, but way less than Michael Cole. Because one of the things.
Let me rephrase what I meant by Michael Cole.
Okay.
I meant because Michael actually looks over all the announcers.
Correct.
Now, without him being an announcer, even with the talent, he looks over the ones at NXT. And anytime they do like the specials or anything, Cruiserweight Classic or anything else, he's the head runner with that. He's like picking who's going to be the announced teams and everything else. They delegated that to him. That's what I would like to see JR do without being on the microphone if he's going to want a 2-man booth. Because I know he's more of a fan of the 2-man booth too. But if I had to do process of elimination, that would be mine. But with JR like in the ear, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I personally would be absolutely fantastically happy with him still being on camera and just kind of being the one that speaks to the audience in between the matches and guides the guys, the two gents on commentary into the matches, maybe dropping in facts here and there. But he's just more like a figurehead, but also kind of what you're saying, working behind the scenes, working in,
keeping them straight.
I think Excalibur is a phenomenal talent.
Excalibur, my dude.
Yeah. He's amazing. And he's a really nice guy that worked really hard. And this is like, when people say dreams do come true when you work hard and you persevere, he's a great example. He's an awesome guy. And then having somebody like CM Punk come in where, I don't think it would have to be like face and heel announcing. I think it would just be a natural, perfect relationship. Like, I love that idea, Shaggy. That is such a good idea, personally.
Yeah, like just this history of doing announcing in Ring of Honor. And also doing his announcing when he just did it in WWE, just fucking around, just because he needed to be on TV because he was going through his injury or something. That would be great. And also his stuff outside of wrestling that he's been doing, like commentating on I forgot the show that he was on. Doing commentating on that, he has a talent for it. So it's like, getting him one of the things and kind of doing that. I understand if he would, that's just in my world is what I would do. And, it's just like, you're probably giving me like, why would you come on, man, don't be harsh to JR. It's not that. Listening to JR is still good. It's hard for him to keep up on certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be rough. I'm not saying it is all the time.
Fuck it. Put him just on the last match of the card. That's it. Just have him just have him do the main event. That's it.
I also wouldn't mind JR being the new Mean Gene.
But that's what I mean, is just kind of like leading people into the conversation, being more of a host or an MC rather than a commentator. I don't know if it's just because like roller derby definitely ties that in. We do sometimes have 3-person booths. Mm-hmm. And usually that third person just oversees like sponsorship, officiating calls, explaining any of the rule set, things like that. Whereas there's a play-by-play and a color commentator that can tie in the history and, the humor and things like that. Those are the two main voices that you'll hear in roller derby commentary. But then oftentimes there will be a third person and they're more of an MC that will, when they cut to commercial, will be the person to do the sponsor reads and things like that. And I can see JR, especially being as worldly and as knowledgeable as he is about wrestling, this span of professional wrestling. But like you said, he's not always gonna maybe be as up to snuff, can't keep up. Even though I personally think he can. To me, he's like listening to my dad and his cronies talk about their war stories. That's why I like JR on the mic, because he can sprinkle that in.
It's 50-50. I'm along the lines of me going along the lines like, look, I don't want you I have a high.
Absolutely.
I have you have put in so many good memories in my head. I really don't want you to put any bad ones in. And I've listened to the stuff that he done on in New Japan live, and then obviously edited for Access TV, but it's not the JR that you're used to. And yeah, it happens, but that's just me. And I figured if anything, if I had to do it, I'm not getting rid of JR, period. But I would rather him be the one being a coach, like a football coach in the headset saying, hey, do this there, say this there, and your guys are good. Just be yourselves and stuff like that. And that's also less travel on him, but that's besides his point. When I heard Punk was coming to fucking StarCast, the first thing I thought, and we were everybody's scoffing, oh, no one wants to be there. It's not because people don't like Punk. It's because they don't like the people. They don't like the people that come out when Punk's around.
Right.
And, that's because they're especially the diehards. They're hey, you should come back to wrestling. Man, no. I said, I tell everybody anybody who I meet, I've met CM Punk, had a conversation with him. He laughed at me for being a Flyers fan. He also got me to sing me happy. He's like sang me happy birthday on my 28th birthday in a movie theater in Jacksonville in front of strangers, which is a day I'll never forget, and that was really fun.
He's a nice guy.
He wants nothing to do with it, and he'd rather focus on his other stuff in life, which he's not that bad at. He's actually not bad at least the comic book stuff, because I've gotten him. Like the Drax run wasn't bad, but yeah, it's like
he's also really good at being a Cubs fan. So
yes, I shit you not. I'll shit you not. That was the year. That was the year you guys won the World Series.
Oh, the greatest year of all time.
Yeah,
2016.
Yeah, that was the year you guys won the World Series. And
Patrick, I'm drinking water and listening to you giggle. This is the best.
He pretty much was like, "Hey, guys, I don't like people being on their phones in the movie theater, but I am gonna be looking at the game on my phone because I need to do this because the Cubs are like in the playoffs." I want to say, okay, it might have been. I think it's no. It was it was that roughly around that time. So it was definitely I'm telling you, that was a great year. That was funny as hell to me too.
And can I tell you that anybody says that the Cubs won the World Series on November 2nd, they are full of lies, because I was sitting in Cleveland during a 17-minute rain delay, and when the team finally won at Progressive Field, where they were playing, where I was sitting, it was after midnight. It's November 3rd. Boom. Fuck all y'all. Anyway, but so back to wrestling.
My fault. It was 2015, not 16.
That was the year that we went pretty far, but unfortunately didn't go all the way.
Yeah, that was the year, because I just looked at the poster that he autographed, and I was like, wait, hold on, because I had it framed in my house, but I'm like, wait, time out. I was like, oh shit, that was 2015. My bad. Smoking K2.
So yeah, he's gonna be. Whoa, hi, yikes. So he's gonna be at Starrcast 3. They're talking about wristbands and crazy shit, and I don't know. I'm excited for it. Just to see like what can come out of this. Personally, I'm also interested to see how he's gonna respond to. Is it just a meet and greet? Is he gonna be doing a Q&A? Like, we don't really know what his involvement is. He just has an appearance, is all we've heard. Other than when I watched the teaser video, and it was like the best song ever. I wish every time Kyle Schwarber is up at bat, he either comes out to Thuggish Ruggish Bone by Bone Thugs and Harmony or Cult of Personality by Living Color. And I'm just like, fuck yes. I love Punk's entrance music. It's still one of my favorite songs of all time. Not because it's his entrance music, but I actually started liking him more because of that song. So we'll see what's going to happen. I don't know. I mean, do you guys have any thoughts on, like, do you think he's going to do just autographs? Or, I mean, what do you guys think? Anything?
He's scheduled for the one-on-one interview. So, like, there's that. But I don't think he's doing anything wrestling related. Unless, if he does, then Tony Khan finally gave that man money that he couldn't say no to. Fuck that. He gave him several bags.
I feel like he definitely is giving him a giant sack with a dollar sign on it.
Like several dollar signs. Like
Bugs Bunny dollar signs. like
it's like it's just some, like, it's a stupid amount. Like, it would literally have to be a stupid amount. Like, you would have thought he literally is going to play for the Jags the way they just paid him.
Oh yeah. With giant, comedically large, oversized bags of money.
Yeah.
So Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson are going to be working with AEW. That's kind of exciting. If you're an old school Four Horsemen, I think it is.
I am.
But I like the Four Horsemen.
They're one of my favorite. I'm going to say
stables.
The Four Horsemen is my favorite stable of all time.
I feel like that they didn't invent it, but they claimed what it means to be a fucking stable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They were one of the original ones. Like, yeah. And I grew up on like Tully, Ole, Rick, and actually I was probably the second version of
the second wave. Yeah.
The second wave of them. Not the original one, but when I got into them, there was a second wave, and then we had the third wave that was just like Benoit.
Yeah, that was the wave.
We're not talking about
Mongo.
Yeah, Steve Mongo McMichael.
Mongo McMichael.
Yeah.
Jesus. Come on, guys.
But yeah, but they were like my favorite. I like the fact that, and it was, to be honest with you, it was only a matter of time, because the fact that they're doing this now, it's for a storyline saying, hey, Cody, if you're going to have your family, I'm going to have my family too. This is with Sean Spears saying he's got Tully in his corner. And then I don't know what, and so like his dad, and of course his dad always had beef with the Horsemen or Ric Flair. Now they fucking around and get Ric Flair somewhere involved in this, I'd be fucking amazed. But I'm with it so far. I just really wish I kind of gave a shit about Sean Spears.
Well, but maybe this will make you actually care about him, other than the fact that, you know, he has the 10 gimmick. I think it was a great way to bridge him from WWE to AEW. I don't think that they're going to let him live off that stale number. I really don't.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a great introduction for Double or Nothing. I mean, you knew he was going to be the 10 card, but when you actually saw it, it was kind of cool, I thought, in a super dorky way. And so having Tully Blanchard being the manager of Sean Spears, I mean, the possibilities are endless. I'm excited to see what's going to happen. So, like, I get that you're like, Patrick, maybe you're not feeling it, but I think it's going to be interesting. It could be a dud or it could be a stud. I mean, who knows? I'm excited, but nobody really knows. There's not any word yet on what Arn Anderson's involvement will be, but it's exciting to see 2 of the 4 horsemen in AEW. And, you know, like you said, that if Ric Flair gets involved, holy shnikes, bruh. I think he might be the very only human, since Chris Jericho couldn't. I feel like Ric Flair might be the only human on planet Earth, flat or round Earth, whatever you prefer, that could work with both promotions, because Vince McMahon is not losing.
Right.
I mean, he went out and got Brett too, and that was Brett like right after the, you know.
Yeah, that was right after the Hall of Fame.
Brett was literally at the Hall of Fame, not even like a month after, you know, everything. So he just showed up. It doesn't mean like Rick's not signed to WWE. He can literally be like, "Hey, what up?" And I'm like, "Yo, this is crazy."
Right.
That being said, I want to ask a question. This has nothing to do with news, but I just literally just thought of this. I don't know how you guys feel about it. Everybody's wondering when everything's starting, and of course, All Out is going to be in August. Me personally, do you feel as though All Out should have been after their first couple of shows on TNT?
I want to say no, but I wouldn't have had it in August. I would have had it the Sunday before it premiered on TNT.
Yeah.
Or the Tuesday or whatever. So I had the pay-per-view on Saturday, and then the show starts Tuesday. It'll be so much build and hype going into that show.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah. Patrick, shared brain. I love you.
Oh, man.
Hive mind.
Yeah, I'm high, that's all.
Putting the high in hive mind. That's my Patrick.
Exactly. See, this is the reason why I'm saying this, though, because the way I see it, I'm like, okay, you had all these other shows. People are waiting for the TV show. And of course we're getting All Out, but it's like, if you were building this, like, because the only way you're going to be like me personally going, and this is because I thought of the impact that if Sean Spears was on television with the 4 Horsemen, or building up like with him and Tully, at least building that up, you know, you can build that stuff up on that television show, which would make more hype for All Out. Not just that, but the tag team tournament, you're doing that. And then that would build up, and then you can have the tag team match at All Out versus.
But isn't that like a chicken and egg situation? Because just because we, you know, Lady Marks and neckbeards and casual fans, whatever, are excited for new competition for WWE, don't you think that, like, for the general, like, okay, I was going to say for Tall Dad, but he loves wrestling, so that's a bad example. For my coworkers at Wrigley, they're not going to give a fuck about some new wrestling TV show. They need like these big splashes and pops. And I think the subtle burn that they're doing right now is really great, because they're not going to where the Jaguars played. They're going to the smaller venues and packing them. And they're not flooding, you know, they don't have an AEWshop.com buy one, get one for $1. They are making things like rare and specific to events and particular color schemes for each person. And like, I think the way that they're going about it is great. And like what Patrick was saying is if you have All Out on, on that Saturday, or have that pay-per-view on the Saturday and then start that show on Tuesday, everybody that's going to be like wanting to taste this fire is going to like tune in 2 days later, 3 days later. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just want, my whole thing is just kind of building up the stories, because the only way they build up the stories is like the not being the elite, but they build it up through the Road to series.
Yeah, the Road to.
Yeah,
but and the social media presence. I think that's part of the reason why they're so smart, though, babe, is because unfortunately, as much as I hate a lot of the internet, I don't hate it all. I enjoyed talking to the two of you on the internet. But,
your age is showing.
I know, Grandma Capone, get off my lawn, kids. They're not idiots. They realize that this is the modern media that we live with, and the modern medium to get their product across. Because if you don't have a strong presence on the internet, which is how they're doing the build with the Road 2s via Twitter and the YouTube channels and all this and that, I mean, that underground hype is starting to steam, and it's gonna like boil over soon. I don't know. I think it's a good program.
I also would like to see more of the grab the casual fan. The only reason why I say this is, like, for instance, taking the Road to, like the Road to All Out. Why not have it on TNT?
Well, and that might be what they eventually do, but I feel like this is a really good way to test the waters and see how their product goes.
Beforehand. That's kind of building, because it's like they're already, like, for instance, during the NBA, not the finals, but during the playoffs, they had like the blurbs for Double or Nothing all on the network. And that's huge because millions of people are watching that.
Right.
So it's like in TNT, like you got shows or whatever. I mean, it's summer, so it's kind of like there's nothing really going on television. You can kind of say, hey, we got like a 30-minute show or like 20-minute show or something that we can have, or kind of, it would be easier if sports were on at this point, because you can kind of blip it in. You can kind of blip them in, but it's like, I would like to see a little bit more like the stuff with TNT. I know they're working and they're doing their best, but that was just me though. I just like, I would love to see that. Also, probably more so implementing Pat stuff, but I guess Pat, it's just me coming off being like super duper nerdy and doing what we do when we play fucking WWE 2K. Build and then having that show that just fucking ties it all off. It's just with, I'm not running a fucking company. It's just something I was thinking about though, because I'm like interested in like.
I can see them actually doing that in the near future. Like, absolutely. But you can't just put like this cool little thing, this kitschy little thing that we all love and hold so dear. And, their total mainstream right now is very rarely they get mentioned in sports media, and their top stars are sold at Hot Topic. That's it.
Yeah.
In reality, that's it. They are not the decades time tested, or whether it's good or not, WWE product that people know. Because any time I tell people that I play roller derby, and I have for 15 years, there's two things that they mention. They were like, oh, like Joni Weston or the Bay Bombers. Oh, yeah, throwing elbows. Or they mention, oh, it's like wrestling, like WWE. Like Joe Blow at Wrigley Field would never know about AEW unless they're wearing a Young Buck shirt. I mean, shoot, the other day I too sweeted somebody and he looked at me like I was fucking crazy. And he was wearing like a Bullet Club shirt. I was like, take that shit off, bro. I was like, too sweet. And he was like, huh?
See?
Okay.
See, look, man, those are like hipster neck beards. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
All right,
Well, yeah. Well, I love you, Shaggy.
My bad.
Sir, I was tweeting folks before it was cool.
Oh no, bro, no. And I'm about to work Pitchfork. Fuck, what am I doing?
She's like, nope, you get out of here.
I'm wearing, you know what I'm doing? Hey, by the way, just I did overnight that Bailey fanny pack and it arrived yesterday. So I'm wearing my Bailey fanny pack for Pitchfork. Woo!
I'm telling you, Val does some of the whitest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Listen.
I just looked in the notes. I just want to touch on this real quick with Jim Ross refusing to appear at this Raw reunion coming up. That's going to have about, I don't know, 50 billion people on it. I don't blame Jim Ross. I don't blame him for not wanting to do that. And I know he said that Tony Khan said it was okay, but there's a long history of Vince humiliating Jim Ross, and of course, I wouldn't see them doing something like fucked up, but it's WWE. Maybe they would. I don't know. They would have probably had Jim Ross like playing with a dildo or something on TV or something, like something stupid or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too high.
Well, I think you're not wrong. I think it's a good idea that he politely refused to appear on the Raw reunion, which is happening this Monday. It's totally random and kind of bizarre, and I'm trying to figure out like why they're picking this Monday out of. I mean, do you have any thoughts on that? Like why it even makes sense at all? Because I don't feel like it does.
It doesn't make any sense. And
I know.
Yeah, I think the ratings are just down, and they just need something to give it just a little push to some.
Do you think this was a Heymanism? Do you think that this has anything to do with Eric Bischoff? Yes or no?
Nah, I want to say they probably had this in the bag for a minute, because you would have to contact a bunch of people to try to get them to come up and meet in short notice.
Right. Okay, can we talk about the bunch of people and then think about it?
I mean, go ahead. I'm sorry. I don't want to blow your thunder, because if you don't mention this person, I'm going to mention them, and I'm going to be upset that you didn't. But go ahead.
Okay, so I have like a list of 40 something names,
pressure.
But I'm only. Oh fuck. Okay. Well, I know one of them is not CM Punk.
For obvious reasons.
So Stone Cold Steve Austin, my favorite of all favorites. Ric Flair, super racist, won't say his name.
Fuck him.
Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Sean Waltman, Alundra Blaze, Book Goatee, Christian, Devon Dudley, Triple H, which isn't he already there? Anyway, whatever. Yeah. Shawn Michaels, Eric Bischoff, Gerald Briscoe, Hurricane Helms, Jerry Lawler, Jimmy Hart, Kelly, Kurt Angle, ? Lillian Garcia, Mark Henry, Mick Foley, Pat fucking Patterson, I love him, Rikishi, Road Dogg, oh you didn't know, Ron Simmons, how many times do you think they're gonna damn? Santino Marella, Sergeant Slaughter, Sid, just Sid, not Psycho, not Vicious, just Sid, Ted DiBiase, the motherfucking Boogeyman, the Godfather, Melina, Rikishi's on here twice, so let's just say he's gonna be on twice. Eve Torres, Candice Michelle, Bubba Ray has said no, I guess, but that might change. There's no Sting on the card yet, but people keep talking about Sting versus The Undertaker in the rain.
This is funny as shit.
Potentially Johnny Impact, because he's no longer with Impact.
Yeah, look. This is funny because you named off all of those names, and about 70% of them are already backstage.
Yep.
It's not like that. Like, hey, Shane Helms, what are you doing? Nothing. All
Mark
right.
Henry,
Mark
I mean.
So that kind of proves your point earlier, saying that they probably just did this shit out the whim.
That's Melina, what I'm saying. It's not like
the one. Well, I was
the biggest name that is the buzz is because of please, Sammy, I love you so much. Sami Zayn was tweeting about The Rock making a donation to his charity, Sammy for Syria, right? That he saw him at the WWE Performance Center. So now people are all freaking out that maybe this is going to be his big return to WWE, because he's also out promoting Hobbs and Shaw, and like Comic-Con in San Diego is going on. So there's all this like busy about will he be there at the Raw reunion. Or is he just going to pop up on SmackDown because he's the one that named the show? But who was the name that you were thinking, dear?
It was Melina.
Melina. Oh my God, you're so ridiculously funny. I love you.
It was Melina.
It was Melina.
Like, it was definitely Melina because I was sitting there going like, if you don't name Melina, I'm gonna be upset. But at the same time,
no.
At the same time, I was like, do you know that she has been complaining? And I ain't gonna say complaining, but she's been advocating to get herself back on Raw. But she's like, back in WWE's graces, and it's like they won't have me. And I'm just sitting there going like, that's kind of messed up, man. Because Melina was kind of like your whole women's and women's/diva upbringing. She was kind of like one of the actual good ones. So
yeah. Well, but you know what? Honestly, the same thing has happened to Lisa Marie Varon, which is really upsetting because
yeah.
I mean, she's been screwed. I don't know why. She's wonderful.
Still have her bar in Chicago?
No, unfortunately,
it's not no more. Yeah,
she closed it for personal reasons.
Squared Circle. Yeah.
It was the best. When I used to be able to do meat and dairy, the Fluffernutter cheesecake was my favorite thing. It was so good, and she was very wonderful, and she was always really good about protecting and caring for any superstars that came. I remember one night I was in there after some event at Allstate Rosemont, and Bull Fit was in there. I was like, nice. Yes. But it was a good spot, but unfortunately it's closed. So yeah, I mean, that's the big thing. And then here's the other thing. Sasha Banks was being advertised for showing up on Monday. And now supposedly they've stricken her name from all mentions. So I don't know if she's still in timeout, like self-imposed, company imposed. Nobody really knows what's going on. And she tweeted like a really bizarro tweet recently, earlier this afternoon. So this is kind of like a little late addition to our news notes. Sorry, guys. It's really weird to me. I don't think it makes any sense, but it also does. The caterpillar is a prison to the streets that conceived it. Its only job is to eat or consume everything around it in order to protect itself from this mad city. The fuck cryptid shit is that, dude?
Look, I don't know. Just hurry up and just get back on TV. We all know that it's all squashed. You're not going to AEW like all the neckbeards told me was going to happen.
You really, it's like, I want to picture you actually like having neckbeards as a phone number in your phone and you call them and they tell you things and you're like, and they tell you things and you come back. It's like, all right, so neckbeards have told me that this is happening. And you know what? I'm ready to fight. I don't believe them. They smelly. And it's like, it's kind of like my friend Mark, like some shit like that. Every time you say that, that's how I imagine it. Like I'm texting neckbeards right now.
I feel like that. I'm telling you, I be in these fucking Facebook forums and Reddit.
That's what you fucking up. That's what you fucking up going on Facebook.
I shouldn't. Yeah.
They think the government is in your face.
Well, she's also posting pictures of her like looking super mega Bayley badass with long brown hair, not her WWE traditional purple hair. Mm-hmm. And Bayley, was just on SmackDown in Worcester, Massachusetts, which is Sasha's neck of the woods. And Bayley said, "Hi, Joshua." You can see there's a GIF floating around there of her holding up the belt, and she waves to him.
Yeah, isn't he in the crowd?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then one of her other recent tweets 5 hours ago now, so later this afternoon, not knowing where you're going is the best way to get someplace you've never been. Like, what? This poor woman, I don't know what's going on with her. And I'm not the biggest Banks fan, to be honest with you. Like, I, in theory, would like her. I just don't. I just like other women better.
As far as kill herself, man. Her and Big E, they're national treasures, and I don't need them to do dives anymore.
Yeah, no, for sure. But she also has a Bible verse quoted. Is that what they're called?
Man, I don't, dude. I am the worst motherfucker to talk about that.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Pat,
You want to talk about Slayer? I can help you out, but
yeah, I know some fucking Corn lyrics. If that's
yeah.
what you want.
Corn. That's what I need. I need a Corn sound bite.
No, you do not actually. Absolutely not. I quit.
That's an inside joke, man. Inside.
I
joke.
quit, and I spell quit with a K because corn spells it with a K.
Like corn
But
is a backwards K.
yeah, backwards K, backwards K pone. So she has a Bible verse or whatever, and it says she remembered who she was, and the game changed. Underground legend still loading. I'm pretty sure that part wasn't in the Bible, but maybe the first part.
Yeah, that must be a new version.
The very New Testament.
Yeah.
Underground legend still loading.
Page from Wikipedia.
I don't know what's going on with her. I just hope that she's okay, and she figures it out and finds her happiness soon. Because even though I'm not a fan of hers personally, I mean, I'm not a big fan of hers, I should say. I know a lot of women, children, men, everybody that are, and it's kind of a bummer to see that she's just like vanished. It's been a while. WrestleMania was a fabulous day, but that was also the first week of April.
Yeah, I'm about to say, that was a long fucking time ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's 2019 has been fucking flying, so.
But with that, none of her shit's on clearance yet on WWEshop.com because I check that shit on the daily.
You have once again, you have a problem.
I do not. Listen,
Val,
you guys.
First step.
You guys, I might have a problem. There's stainless steel tumbers. Oh my god. Listen,
anyway, moving on.
Dude.
Anyway.
Oh my gosh, I need these.
You don't. See? God damn it. We lost.
Oh my gosh.
I promise you don't.
The Kofi Kingston one is dope AF. Fuck y'all.
Look, she's probably looking at like Rusev toe ring or something. Like,
oh man, if there was such a thing, don't act like I wouldn't buy us all.
You just make that shit up, and then you're like, I was like, oh, come on.
I know. Man. I'm like, is it? No, y'all look at our group and look at that Kofi Kingston stainless steel tumbler. Tell me I don't need that in my life.
You don't. I'm gonna not look at it and tell you that you don't because I care about you a lot. I'm gonna sit here like, no. No, I'm not gonna add to your drug.
Patrick, it's dope.
I like the color.
Okay, that's don't do this.
I do like the color. I mean,
no, man, what are you doing, bro? No.
Pat, also, there's some leggings. I haven't even ordered a pair yet, y'all. I'm being good.
Yeah, not only Val, she has like a fucking Amazon truck. Stuff from
backing up.
They're just backing up an alley and just loading it up.
They just kind of like, just put it in the back with the rest. She didn't even have a garage. She doesn't even have. Cool. Like, I imagine Val's place just has a garage. It's not even a garage. It's just like a fucking shed that just says garage on it, and it's just like filled with like
WWE merch,
like WWE merch. And it's like, nah, I just got on clearance. Just put it in the garage, and it's just like,
you know what? Let us find out Val is really Earl Hebner. Let me find out. Let me find out.
Val selling that good merch.
Yeah,
that good merch, that sweet merch. She's like, no, I'm keeping the rare shit, but the rest of this shit though, yeah. How much you want for it?
What about if I bought a Sasha Banks Halloween costume, guys? It's on clearance.
Man.
It's only child side. It'll be funny.
Why? Val, why?
Stupid.
Of course it's stupid, but it's like the next thing I know is like, yo, why does like Val works like 18 jobs, but yet she's like like Val works 18 jobs, but yet she's never it's like she always have time to go to Disney. How the fuck does it even work? Dude, her side hustle. She's selling merch out of the back of her car.
Oh man, I can't
look, y'all.
I solved the case.
Oh my god.
Bro,
anyway,
I don't know nothing. And then hey, it makes more sense because now she's working. Now she kind of picks up some time at like fucking pro wrestling tees to know how the business is. So they're like, okay, you selling that shirt for $30? Like, $30? All right, yo, I'm gonna sell this.
Listen, y'all, I have some shirts. I have some shirts that I got from PWT that I will never sell because I'm not allowed to, because that was the agreement for me taking them home. Like, I was gifted imperfect shirts that they didn't want to send out to people, since I do a lot of the shipping and packing whenever they need extra help. I have like shirts that they straight up said, these are for you and only you. Do not give them to anybody. Wear them to the gym. Don't wear them on TV. I'm like, okay. So I have AEW shirts that I only wear to the gym, and I will never wear them on TV because they are imperfect and they want to make sure the fans get what they paid for, which is like good quality merch. But they also don't want to throw away a t-shirt that has a slightly crooked design. So, I have like a really weird
weird. Yeah.
What does this have to do with you selling that goddamn Mr. Perfect towel for like $75?
It's totally worth it. It's like a bargain when you think about it.
I'm mad she's picking up skills of how to peddle her wares.
Listen, I love Pro Wrestling Tees. It's really fun there, and I only work there like every couple months. It's really fun. Whatever. Anyway,
that's comedy.
So I just have like two things. You want a good one or a sad one first? Like a positive one or a sad one?
Give us a sad and then follow it up with the positive.
Yeah.
All right. It made me think of it because Pro Wrestling Tees and his involvement with it. But I'm really sad to say that one of the pioneers of wrestling podcasting, Colt Cabana, has decided to call it a day with the Heart of Wrestling.
Oh, what?
I just read
the Art of Wrestling.
I was going to say something about it too.
I almost want to like reach out to him and be like, "Hey, dude, thank you," because he's a good dude. He's a nice guy. He works really fucking hard, and like really, he was one of the pioneers of wrestling podcasts. And so, even the three of us, but every single one of us, in wrestling, like owes him a big high five, or like buy some of his merch or something, Yeah, he's just decided he wants to do other stuff. He's been doing it for 9 years. And so he does have a commitment to finish up. So it's going to probably be, I think he said today on his latest episode that he dropped was in September or October is when it's officially going to be wrapping up. But he's also going to have a Patreon where if you pay $4, you can get every single episode for free for the rest of your life. It's like $4 a month or whatever. And then if you pay $1 more, you can have extra content and if enough people do it, I think he said about 500 people, if 500 people do it, then it makes sense for him to produce other episodes every now and again, but he's not going to do it on the weekly. And, look at how many times we've had to take breaks to adjust and retool, and just life gets in the way. Yep. And this cat, he's one of the hardest working dudes out there. Like, he really, really is. And I mean, he and Pro Wrestling Tees helped change the game for so many indie wrestlers. Oh. He's a really good dude. And so whatever he's doing, I hope he's doing well. And I know he's super stoked because he's at the Fringe in Edinburgh, Scotland, which, Chicago is his home. And I feel like Edinburgh, sorry for speaking for you, Colt, but I feel like it's like your second home. So I'm glad that he's out there so he can be, doing his thing, and he's doing comedy, and he's just a really good dude. So props to him. And
I got a lot of my interview style from him. I took a lot of my interview style from a lot of stuff, but he was one of the first podcasts I listened to. And I think I got it was one of the things me and Pat connected over like years ago. Because he was always looking for new podcasts, but I told him about that one, but we were already listening to it. But it's a special place in my heart, man. It kind of bums me out a little bit, because I was like, I mean, all the good things come to an end, but man, you kind of had the idea when he kind of switched up how he was doing his stuff.
Yeah, the format. Mm-hmm.
When he switched up the format, it's like I kind of knew this was coming. You kind of see the writing on the wall a little bit, but it's because of I don't have time, because life does happen. When I do my show, like I told myself, like, dude, do episodes when you can, and people will listen to it or people won't listen to it, but do it on your time. Like, I would love to do stuff on like weekly, but I know it's fucking hard because other stuff comes up.
Yeah, it is. And also, everybody, especially, including and especially Colt, that loves wrestling, like there's a lot, and it can consume your life, and it can almost get to the point where you're just like, I need to take a break. So when we have to do it, whether it be because of, conflicting schedules personally, like, I was sick one week or whatever, or, Shaggy had to take care of some stuff. Patrick was traveling, I had to go hang out with Mickey Mouse for the 70th time this year. Like whatever it is, you have to still do those things outside of a podcast, outside of, for him, it's his full-time job is being Colt Cabana. You know what I mean? And I couldn't even imagine doing it 24 hours a day, and that's all that you do. So I'm really happy for him that he gets to do stuff like go to Fringe. And yes, wrestling's still involved in his comedy, but he's also doing a lot of comedy stuff. And he's a really good, hardworking guy. And so I'm happy for him, even though I'm sad for us as fans of what he does for wrestling.
Yeah.
And, the interviews that he gets that most people never will, because he is a professional wrestler. He's a lot of things, as he says in every podcast, but he is a professional wrestler. And I mean, props to him. Also, update, there's a new Bray Wyatt shirt on WWEshop.com. Just so you know. Yowie Wowie.
Ain't that something?
So that's sad news. Yowie Wowie. Props to you, Colt. We love you. Congrats. Enjoy your time at the Fringe. Can't wait to hear more about your new projects coming up. But something that I am happy to say, the happy news, even though it's kind of sad, is that Mickie James underwent surgery this week. Like 2 days ago. Yeah, she had to get her ACL repaired. So, it's kind of a little sad, but she's planning on returning in 2020. There's a little bit of buzz that she might not return because her country music career has kind of been picking up quite a bit lately.
Yeah, she's been dropping some slappers.
Yeah. So
stop it.
So
stop it, Pat. Stop it.
Hey, that song with her and the Yin Yang Twins? Man.
Yeah. Listen, it's not the new Nas song.
She's gonna be fucking around on the fucking Old Town Road remix. Again, you're gonna have yourself to blame for this.
Let's make it happen. I'm gonna have to I'm gonna try to shoot some mentions his way.
Girl, you better produce some shit for her stat before she gets too big.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
But yeah, so I mean, she says she'll be fine. If she comes back, she's coming back bionic. And so it's a little weird because it's like, if she comes back, oh shit. But it's also, she's had a really awesome career, and it can take almost a year, like 9 months to a year, to recover from an ACL surgery. So, realistically, she could come back in time for WrestleMania, and what a good pop that would be in whatever form she decides to come back, even if she just comes back as an in-ring performer or a manager, a valet, whatever, like she's done a lot for professional wrestling. So props to Mickie James, and speedy recovery. We're glad that it went well. So that's basically all the news that I have to share. I don't know if y'all have anything.
I don't have shit.
Nah, I don't have news stuff. I mean, I got just the G1 Climax stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about that.
All right. So obviously it is day 5 of an ongoing tournament. It's funny because it's cool to see people who are now just getting into New Japan Wrestling kind of figure out the clusterfuck that is G1. Shout out to my buddy Kantos, man. He's like, yo, he's like, every time I hear the G1 comes up, it's a lot of wrestling. I don't know where to fucking start. The best thing I tell people is like, find your favorite wrestler or the ones that follow him, watch his matches. And if there's a dope match of the week type of deal, watch that match, because there are going to be a lot of those. There are going to be like a lot of fucking matches you're going to try to keep up. If you're going to try and watch that show, you're going to be fucking fatigued halfway through. It's the tournament of the summer. It feels what lasts for fucking ever. But as we're on day 5, I can give you the results of the card that happened today. These were block. I'm just gonna do the block matches. I'm not gonna do the undercard matches because I don't need to go over 16 tag team matches that happened. But so Kenta defeated Lance Archer via submission. Evil defeated Sonata in a Los Ingobernables match, like stable brother match, which was, always shake hands at the end type of deal. But Evil beat Sonata. And next one, Sonata was defeated by pinfall. And then Okada took on Bad Luck Fale, in which he defeated Bad Luck Fale via pinfall. Let's see. And Tanahashi actually took on your boy Val, Zack Sabre Jr., and was probably one of the matches, the highlights of that night. It was, but your boy with the pretty hair, Tanahashi, Japanese John Cena, defeated Zack Sabre Jr. by a via jackknife hold submission.
Garbage.
And then probably the one that'll probably be getting retweeted a lot, Kota Ibushi defeated Will Ospreay, and what was possibly a banger. And by banger, I mean Will's neck is probably jacked up to shit. So it's brutal, but that's kind of the one. If you're gonna watch this week, will probably be the match I would say watch this week. Here are the block standings. So I kind of gave you some spoilers off air, but on air, my boy, who I actually had picked on last week's episode, in Block A, Kenta is tied with Okada with 6 points. So they're both tied for first in the leaderboards. Shockingly, Lance Archer and Evil are tied with 4 points apiece. Bad Luck Fale, Kota Ibushi, Sonata, Will Ospreay, and Tanahashi are tied for 2 points. And Val's favorite son, Zack Sabre Jr., has no points.
He has all the points in my book.
No points in day 5.
All the points.
All the points.
I might just wear his shirt every day this weekend. Y'all better watch out. It's gonna be hot.
Yeah, you can wear a shirt, and that's still not gonna get him any points. Anyway, Block B. Block B. Are you guys any surprised by that other than Val's saying it was erroneous that Zack Sabre Jr. has not even got a point?
Points.
No surprises there?
No. I mean,
I'd say the only surprise is that Will Ospreay only has 2 points and Kenta has 6.
Do you think they're doing that to build him up more to make it an insurmountable challenge that he cannot climb, but yet Will Ospreay always does because he's actually a cat?
It won't help him if he fucks his neck up.
Yeah, I know.
Because he had an injury going in prior to this that they were afraid he was going to have to pull out of the match, but they gave him the match anyway, and yet he does Will Ospreay and Ibushi things.
I mean, look.
What you got to say, Pat, for that one? Nothing in Block A? Nothing surprising you? Tanahashi having 2 points also surprises me.
Nothing surprised me right now.
Not even Lance Archer with 4?
No, because I feel like he's one of those new guys that they're going to really try to build up now that Trent Beretta is over in greener pastures, supposedly.
Okay.
So
okay,
that's not a surprise.
Well, let's go look at Block B.
Yeah, Jeff Cobb.
All right. So Ishii, Moxley, and Juice Robinson are tied for first with 4 points. Hiroki Goto, Shingo, and Taichi and my boy Yano are tied with 2 points apiece. While Tori Yano, sorry, I wanted to make sure I didn't say Naito. However, Jeff Cobb, Naito, and Jay White are tied with, even more surprising, no points.
Jeff Cobb.
That's surprising.
The fact that Naito has no points, that shocks me. Jeff Cobb, I actually thought he would probably be the one to kind of be up in the 4-point range. Yeah. Jay White having no points is hilarious, but also kind of depressing. But hilariously depressing. That's the word I'm looking for. Any thoughts about any of those?
I just think that regardless of what your numbers say, Jeff Cobb and Zack Sabre Jr. will come out on top.
Val, I want to believe that, and I also want to believe that you're not selling your shirts. But anyway.
Oh man.
But yeah, I guess. What do you say? What say you, Pat?
The only thing that surprised me is, like you said, Jeff Cobb not having any points. I thought he would, definitely have more, but
yeah,
here we are.
I mean, just those three not having a points period, and it's been 5 days, shocks the shit out of me. That's I'm like, at least get 2 points, bro. I mean, there's always going to be that person that gets no points.
Yeah, but you wouldn't expect it to be either. Any of those,
and it's never, and it, no matter how much you despite it, it's never Yano.
Yeah,
right.
Yano always seems to get at least 2 points or be in the middle of the pack, and people are wondering how in the fuck did this man can beat anyone. I'm like, bro, y'all ain't seen Yano wrestle? Y'all ain't seen Yano wrestle, man? Yano will roll you fuck up, B, and get on out the ring. He cheats. Like, of course, he's gonna get his points. But yeah, those are as of today, those are your G1 Climax 29 standings. And that is all I has.
So I don't have any very much local Chicago scene kind of stuff. But the one thing I wanted to tell you guys is next weekend, courtesy of Zello Pro and Freelance Wrestling Academy, TJ Perkins is doing a seminar, and Pro Wrestling Tees, of course.
Shit. That's what's up.
Yeah, he's doing it's open to fully trained or current pro wrestling students. So sorry, Patrick. But
I got tapes. I will call Simon up. I will get the fucking tapes. I used to do a good Swanton bomb.
Well, then maybe you two can sign up. It's only $30 per person, and to me that blows my mind.
That's cool.
I will pay you $30 to go to the school, and only if he knows that you said what you said to him on Twitter.
Yeah. Oh man, I forgot all about that.
I didn't.
I did squashed it though. Me and TJP, we squashed it.
I will pay $30 for you not to go, just so I will buy you $30 of cream in cream of wheat worth, $30 worth of cream of wheat, so that you don't go to the seminar, because I don't want you to Will Ospreay your neck.
All right. You got me with the cream of wheat. I'm not going
35. 30 to go to the camp, $5 for the cream of wheat.
Do you know how competitive I am? I will destroy you.
Look, I will go 35.
I just bought Patrick cream of wheat. The whole company is his. Don't go to the seminar.
Bruh.
Okay, fine. I won't.
Bruh.
But that's dope though, because with all the stuff that came out about him being like a bad person backstage and stuff, and then me actually watching his Chris Van Vliet interview that he did maybe a month or two ago. Like, he's actually I'm like, damn, let me root for him, man. Maybe he got like a bad rap about shit. So
right, he seems like a decent dude, and I'm pretty proud of Freelance Wrestling Academy. They consistently are bringing in amazing guest trainers. So if you want more information, you can email Zello Pro Wrestling actually at gmail.com. So that's ZELO Pro Wrestling at gmail.com. So they're working in conjunction with Freelance Wrestling Academy and Pro Wrestling Tees. It's next Friday, the 26th, and it's only $30 per person.
That is incredible. I wish, that was available when I was younger and really wanted to really be a wrestler. But now, I ain't got it. I got a William Regal body right now. Now, if I can get it down to like Tommaso Ciampa, then we're talking.
Pat, all you have to do is go take a bump.
So, yeah, I guess that's all the news we got today or whatever for this week or whatever shit. That's it, right? Like, ain't nothing else.
I got nothing else, G.
Nothing really.
No, nothing else. Okay. I'm super duper high right now. Like, I've been smoking the whole show, and I know people that's been listening, they probably heard me giggle a lot throughout the show. But I'm just happy, man. I just want to, partake in the devil's spinach and the shit. That's it.
I'm just trying not to die before I have to work at stupid in the heat, the stupid hot heat all weekend.
Yeah. Like I said before we went on the show, Val, I gotta pull up. I need to get drunk. I need to listen to Ariana Grande.
Yes.
So, and I need to get a fucking chicken and waffle taco from the
you
place.
need to come to Nisei Lounge, friend.
Is everything okay at home?
No, dude. These things are so good, man. Like they're so good. Chicken and waffle taco. Oh my.
No, I believe that. That's not even what made me ask that. I was just like, bro, getting drunk, listening to Ariana Grande. I'm like, bro, what is?
Basically, he means that he missed hanging out with his brother Valphonse. So we need to have like a bro down night.
Yeah, and I
have a brodeo.
Yeah, I haven't had Malort in so long too. So
well,
next... God bless, bro. Holy shit. God bless.
I will tell you. I will tell you this, my friends. Next Thursday is July 25th. That might be Malortmas in July. I might have to crush up some candy cane Malort just for the occasion.
Yeah, now I would drink that again. Candy cane Malort was really good, and the coffee one was good too.
I got the coffee already on brew. Just saying.
Yeah, and I guess. I guess that wraps up episode 60.
Please, God.
And, we all got sleep we got to attend to. Me, I'm probably going to smoke and eat and then go to sleep because I'm a fat, disgusting person. But it's
Patrick,
okay.
3:15.
Yeah, it's going to be 3:15 soon if I don't calm down. But yeah. No, I lost like 3 pounds, but like it's like I'll lose it, then I'll gain it, then I'll lose it. I gotta leave
that's life, right, buddy? That's life.
I know.
It's also called drug addiction.
What?
Listen, it's really called water weight gain if you want to talk about it. It depends on, 3 pounds is no big deal. If you lose and gain 20 or 40 pounds, that's a big deal. 3 pounds happens in a week all the time to people. It just depends on how much you're doing, how much you're eating, how much you're drinking. And I don't mean cream of wheat,
Yeah, I'm eating and drinking cream of wheat. That's how much I love it.
I feel like
cream of wheat shakes.
I feel like, yeah, legit. That what's in your shaker bottle? Cream of wheat.
That would probably be fire. But I feel like only a serial killer would drink cream of wheat. So I'm not gonna do that.
Motherfucker be chugging the cream of wheat. I'm like, yeah, boy.
Oh man. All right, well, I guess that's it.
Patrick's gonna go take a bath in some cream of wheat.
Oh man,
I'm gonna go into my garage and find all my Zack Sabre Jr. shirts to sell at Pitchfork this weekend.
I fucking knew it.
Yeah, I know it. Now happening.
Fucking knew it.
And Shaggy's gonna go relocate his colon.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Dislocated cologne.
That's crazy. I got it. Yeah.